Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adrian Fernandez, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over a little bit something different compared to my other videos in the past, preferably around stock market investing. But the US stock market is currently at all time highs after the recent boom of 6 months in 2021, which is kind of scary due to the health of the market. And obviously, when things are booming, there's due for a correction soon. So I do feel like there's going to be a good sized downtrend in the future, which of course is really, really bad if you own stocks. Might be a couple weeks from now, might be a couple months from now, but I do feel like, when things do go up, they have to go down. And especially since things have gone up pretty rapidly in the past couple months, we're due for a correction. So in my stock market investments, I tend to stay cash heavy. And as Warren Buffett says, I like to load up the elephant gun, ready to purchase any stock at will. But in the event of a long term stock market decline, there should be other investments in which people should turn to. Since the average return on stocks is around 8% and the current savings account is 0.01%, my favorite choice of investing will be buying a Ferrari. We can see the brand new 2021 Ferrari SF90 with the Fiorano package, which Jay Leno recently covered, and which is the photo I'm showing at the moment. Now, everyone pretty much knows what a Ferrari is at this point with their huge market influence. Most people know the second they see a badass car on the highway with a prancing yellow horse on the side, usually colored in red, aka their famous Rosso Corsa, or their top of the line motorsports legacy dating back to the start of Formula One, now holding 16 championships and 15 driver championships in the fastest motorsports in the world. Ferrari have always been in the spotlight for their motorsports or flagship cars, which most kids have on their wall, like I did with the Ferrari Enzo. Now that we have a small background over the legacy of Ferrari, we have to understand why these cars would be a good investment in the first place. So we're going to go over three different cars over the timeline of 2000 all the way up to 2022, which are going to be the SF90, which is the one that Jay Leno had. We're going to go over the Ferrari Enzo and also the LaFerrari, which again are different time points in Ferrari from 2000 to 2021. Pretty much going over the return on investment, how much they were, how much can you sell them for now, and pretty much just comparing them to the stock market at the moment. Now, starting off with the most recent flagship Ferrari, the SF90, which is named after Scuderia Ferrari, their racing team, and their 90th anniversary of the Scuderia. The total production line of this car is reported to be around 2,000 to 3,000 units in total, making it super limited compared to the Toyota Prius having almost 45,000 total units in 2020. The price of this Ferrari is just shy of $625,000 as a base model with no options. I have found two SF90s for sale, one being 1.2 million and the other being $900,000, just after a couple months of the customers receiving them. When plugged into the return on investment calculator, this brings us to an annualized return of 62.96%, which should also be the same for the total return on investment due to the low time frame. But when compared to the stock market returns of 8% and the average savings account being 0.01%, this is an absolute no-brainer to invest in. Ferrari 1, stock market 0. Now on to the second Ferrari we're going to be going over. The Ferrari Enzo, famously named after the founder of Ferrari. This car debuted in 2002 with a production line of 399 and the final one being donated to the Vatican for charity. Being a lower production total than the SF90 does show more exclusivity and should be more sought after than the SF90. The 399 units and the MSRP of each unit being around $675,000, of course without any options, does bring a great deal to any customer who had the opportunity to purchase from factory. With the Enzo going for around mid $3 million, this car did appreciate a lot since 2002. With a longer time frame than the SF90, this car does have a higher total return on investment at almost 418%, but with a long time frame from 2002, it does have an annualized return on investment at 9%, which does barely beat out the market, so technically an Enzo is a better investment than the stock market. So this brings the tally up to Ferrari 2, stock market 0. Now we talk about my favorite Ferrari of all time, the famous LaFerrari, which means of course the Ferrari. Introduced in 2013 and had a production run to 2018 for their Aperta models, the coupe model had a run of 499 like its older brother the Enzo, and the Aperta, which of course is the convertible model, had a run of 200 making this Ferrari super limited. Models range from the MSRP of $1.4 million if you were lucky to purchase from the factory. The current market price for this Ferrari is between low 3 million all the way up to high 3 million, of course depending on the package and color. Now putting these numbers onto the return on investment calculator for the production year 2015 gives us a return on investment of 167.86%, which is actually lower than I would imagine, and an annualized return on investment of 17% per year, which guess what is higher than the 8% return of stocks. So if you do have $1.4 million lying around in your bank or have a small midlife crisis, I got the car for you. Ferrari 3, stock market 0. Hopefully this video shedded some light on the possible investments outside of the stock market, and in some cases how cars can be appreciating assets, which of course can include Corvettes and GT500s, not just Ferraris. Have a great day everyone, hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll have these 3 Ferraris in my garage one day. Thank you.